Balmoral is one of the few places in Kelowna where you can buy into a gated community, own a detached home with your own double garage, and never sit through a strata meeting arguing about how to fund the reserve fund. The last part, it often confuses people. So let me explain how this community works, because it's different from almost every other condo or townhome that I've reviewed. I'm Mark with KelownaCondos.ca and Remax, and today I'm going to get into Balmoral. Condos and townhomes are all I do, and this is a community that I know well, so let's get into it. Balmoral is around 20 years old, which makes it one of the newest 55 plus communities in Kelowna. The homes there are detached ranchers, 2 and 3 bedrooms plus den, and the whole thing is gated and run very well. Here's the part that makes it different. Balmoral is a bare land strata. In plain terms, the land is the strata, and your home is your own. You're responsible for your own roof, your own windows, your own doors, all of it. For a lot of buyers, that's the selling point. In a typical condo or townhome, your strata is constantly planning for the big shared expenses, and a weak reserve fund, it can mean a surprise special assessment for a new roof or new windows down the road. At Balmoral, you don't carry any of that worry. Your strata fee, which just went up to around $300, it goes into the community and the amenities instead. Everybody pays the same fee because everybody owns the same piece of land. The social side is a big reason that people choose Balmoral. There's a clubhouse near the center of the development, and it's the heart of the community. Inside, you've got an indoor pool, a hot tub, a gym, billiards, a library, and a dining hall with a full kitchen for community events. That clubhouse is why a certain kind of buyer falls in love with this place. The people who thrive here are the ones looking for a great community. There is almost always something going on. If you want neighbors who know your name and a calendar that fills itself, Balmoral does this better than most. The location is the other piece. On the MLS, Balmoral is going to show up in the Springfield and Spall area. Most people, though, would describe it as being in Kelowna South. What that gives you is walkability that a lot of 55 plus communities just don't have. Gushigan Village is literally right across the street. You can walk over for a coffee, you can pick up meat and produce, get to medical services. There's even a liquor store there with a really good wine selection. Another thing is that the Kelowna General Hospital is a little bit more than a kilometer away, which doesn't really matter that much until it matters. A lot of people I talk to at Balmoral, they bring up the location first. And electric bikes are everywhere in this community. Residents will spend hours cruising around Kelowna South, down to the waterfront, even downtown. You get a detached home lifestyle without being stuck in your car for every little thing. Now, let's talk about what you need to look carefully before you buy here, because Balmoral has a few things that catch people off guard. The biggest one is the lease situation. About half the properties at Balmoral are leasehold. If you buy one of those, you're going to have a lease payment of close to $300 a month on top of your strata fee. But the good news is that you can pay that lease out at any time. The rough math is the monthly lease payment times $285. That gives you your payout amount. Whether you buy a leasehold unit and keep the payment, you buy one and you pay it out, or you stick to a freehold unit, those numbers can affect your monthly cost. I also will remind you to have your lawyer walk you through the specific lease terms before you commit. The second thing here is dogs. Pets are allowed, but dogs, they need to be under 17 or 18 inches at the shoulder, depending which MLS sheet you read. If you've got a bigger dog, Balmoral isn't going to be the place to you. I'll come back to that in a minute because there's a good option right next door. The third thing that comes straight back to the bare land strata. Your home is your responsibility. The roof, the windows, the doors, the mechanical, all of it is on you. So a home inspection here is important. In a townhome where the strata handles the exterior, reading the strata documents becomes your number one job. And you can sometimes get away with just having someone look at the HVAC system and the plumbing. But here, you want to know exactly what you're buying, because roof, windows, and HVAC, that can add $50,000 on top of the price. Here's some inside information that you won't find on a listing. Over the last 10 years, about 30% of the sales at Balmoral have had 6-foot basements that you could access through the garage. This option is extremely popular. When one comes up, it usually sells within days. The alternative is a 3 to 4 foot crawl space, which is fine for storage, but it's not the same thing. So if a usable basement matters to you, you have to know that going in, you're going to have to wait for the right one and move quickly when it shows up. Here's a pro tip. If you're looking for a specific unit in Balmoral, make sure to get a copy of the Strata documents ahead of time so you're ready to go if the right unit comes up. Ceiling height is another one. Some units have 8-foot ceilings. Some have 9-foot ceilings. The easiest way to tell from the outside is to look for a transom window over the front entrance. If there's a transom window over the door, you're going to be looking at a 9-foot ceiling. And pricing at Balmoral, it can be hard to figure out. Some units are leasehold and some are freehold. Some back onto a road and some back onto manicured green space. All of that is going to change the list price and the time to sell. So if you're comparing two homes that look similar on paper, those are the details that you really need to pay attention to. One more current thing worth mentioning, Balmoral is a very popular community, but lately there's been some frustration among the residents about the Burtch Road extension. If you're seriously considering buying here, ask about it and form your own opinion. It's the kind of thing that you want to understand before you buy, not after. So who is Balmoral right for? Well, it's a great fit if you're ready for less house to look after, but you don't want to feel like you're giving anything up. Every home here is detached, single-family rancher with your own driveway and double garage. You're not trading your house for an apartment. You're trading the maintenance headaches of the big property for something simpler, while keeping everything that you like about having a detached home. It's also ideal if you want a busy social calendar. The buyers I work with who love it here are the ones that want a great community that always has something to do. Who should look elsewhere? Well, two people. If you have a larger dog, this shouldn't be on your list. Sunrise Village, which is right next door on Raymer, is a leasehold property. This is a property where the lease can't be paid out, so mortgage financing is not possible, but the prices there are $400,000 to $700,000. But this has a more flexible pet rule, so that's worth a look. And if you're on a fixed income and you don't really want to deal with having to put in a new roof or new windows, I would steer you towards a townhouse complex that includes the exterior maintenance instead. At Balmoral, your home is your responsibility. Here are some community stats. The homes at Balmoral were built between 2002 and 2008. There are about 250 units. Pricing there, it runs from $700,000 up to over $1 million. This is going to depend on whether the unit is leasehold or freehold, the basement situation, the ceiling height, and what it backs onto. Parking is going to be a double attached garage on every home. And a lot of the homes, they have a fenced-in courtyard in the front. If you're weighing Balmoral against a townhouse or another 55-plus community, and you want to talk to somebody about which one fits how you live, reach out. You'll find the link to my calendar and all my other contact information in the description. No pressure, no pitch, just a conversation about what you're looking for. And if you live in Balmoral or you've toured it, drop a comment. What's the one thing that you would want other people to know? I read every one of them. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.